Stop and listen to the cries of God's people. Stop and listen to the cries of God's people. Stop and listen to the cries. Stop and listen to the cries of God's people. Stop and listen to the cries of God's people. Stop and listen to the cries of God's people. Stop and listen to the cries. It says, we didn't choose him, but he chose us. To him is given the right to say, my brother, you got no trust. It says we didn't choose him, but he chose us. To him is given the right to say, my brother, you got no trust. We've done more damage than we've done good. People had an image of Christianity.
What do you like about going to church stuff, whether it be worship or youth group or whatever?
I like being with like-minded people type of thing, I guess. That's always refreshing.
Get out there to show people you're not just like some random church who wants your money and your faith. It's more like to get involved and just come see.
Being able to hang out with people like your age, because I know in my neighborhood there's like 6-year-olds running around, nobody else is 16, so it's pretty awesome to be able to hang out with like people who like the same stuff as you.
I like when we find a way to, or when the church finds a way to get the youth involved more, because I feel like most people look at church as more of an adult thing, and there's a lot of kids out there who go to church, but in my church especially, there's not that many kids, and I liked being with kids my age who I could just, you could talk to about what you're actually thinking about God and stuff.
I like hearing about people's weeks, like youth group highs and lows. Some of them are kind of really low sometimes, but we get them back up, so it's okay.
I just want them, I think they should make it more comfortable, because I feel like some people think about church as an uncomfortable place to be sometimes for them, but I feel like if they would just go, if they could just get people to try it out once, they would understand that it is a comfortable place to be and you can be yourself and you don't have to be anybody else at church.
It would still pretty much be like a family to me, and like still be, I don't like the type of churches that are all like super formal and you have to do it a certain way. I want to be able to do it my own way and still praise God.
I want to see pictures, like a video of them catching a huge fish or something. I'll pay attention.
To illustrate the sermon.
Yeah, I'll totally get the message after that.
I've always liked outreach, and that's something that I feel like, I like feeling like I'm making a difference, and I feel like it's getting out there and expressing what God wants us to do and showing other people that we're out there and doing things.
Have others with you, but do your own kind of thing.
The way I feel when I go to church is dead tired,
Yeah?
but joyful after. Pretty much, like, I feel joyful, yet I don't know what's going on. I pretty much just go for friends anyways, for right now, because I don't really have any meaning, like, of what everything means right now. So.
Okay, when I go to worship service, I feel really clean. No, really, after I walk out, I feel super clean. And then sometimes I feel confused because I don't know what happened. Like, I didn't understand what was going on, but I still felt clean. So.
What kind of, say more about the clean thing. I don't know what you mean. I mean, I know what it feels like to be clean.
Like, joyful?
Yeah?
It just better. It just felt better. Like I did something good.
It's just a happy feeling, early morning feeling, and after, I guess what Leia said, like, you kind of feel clean, like you've done something productive and good, and you like listen, and I don't know, you learn a lot. I like learning, you know.
Well, I do a lot of bad things in my life, and have done a lot of bad things in my life, and
So you're saying you're human?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I feel like it kind of like balances out a lot of those things. Like they were talking about, it kind of cleans you.
They're gone.
They're gone. I do like I said, I do a lot of bad things, and you said I'm human. But like, I kind of come to balance it out because I feel like I need to. And that's like a society thing, and
What, that you use church to balance out the bad things in life?
yeah, kind of.
Because I sort of feel like church is a place that recognizes, and it doesn't always do this successfully, but it's a place where you can recognize that you are human. Because that's the first, next week we'll do this, we'll go through the service. The first thing we do every single week is essentially say, yeah, we all screwed up all the time. But we also understand that the God we have is a forgiving God. It's called the confession and forgiveness.
Condemned for what I've done and cleansed at the end of the condemnation. Like when you're a little kid, you get, your parents, you break something your parents own. You get yelled at, you get scolded, but they're not going to hate you for it.
Grace. Stop growing in grace. My parents have told me that since growing up.
Yeah.
I think like what you said there about like the whole, it's not like an excuse to use, like a get out of jail free card that you just have infinite amounts. It's more of, it's the whole, I've done wrong, and I've been forgiven. I have the ability to start new, and I have the ability to start fresh without all this luggage. It's not, you're set on this path and you can't change. You have this opportunity every single time. Maybe that message may be obscured. You've heard of deja vu? Where you see something you've never seen before? There's this other opposite effect. It's called jamais vu. It's when you say something over and over and over, it doesn't
forget what it means. Yeah.
Forget what it means. And so I think with some of these prayers, with some of these lessons, we chant everything in a monotone voice.
Yeah.
When I go to church and worship service, I feel like, for the most part, bored. Like the fun part is like standing up and like singing, but when I sing at the church, it's like with a bunch of people, different age groups, and I always feel like my singing isn't good enough. Like in every group of teenagers, they're always on the verge of bursting out in a song like Journey and stuff. But like, I could sing with any group of teenagers, but like in church, I'm just like.
When I go to church, honestly, like I feel really good about myself. I wake up early and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm doing something great with the grandparents. And then I get here and I'm like, oh my god, all the eyes are on me. What am I gonna do? And I just kind of like try to keep my calm, and I'm like really nervous when I sit down. I don't know any of the words to the songs. I'm just up there, like mumbling along. I don't know where the pages are, even if they're on the board, and it's almost stressful.
It's interesting kind of how people were before talking about how it's kind of like a performance, and I feel that it kind of has been a performance, but I've been performing so long, it's just like, oh, I'm gonna get up, do this, I've got this covered, it's like someone's on like a Broadway play and there's like, yep, I got this covered,
yeah.
And they have the applause at the end, and they're used to it. So I think mainly because I've grown up with this and it's become so habitual, I haven't really even noticed that. It's kind of interesting because there's all these people that I know, but I don't really know. I don't really know a lot of people's names. I don't know a lot of people's faces and how high and stuff. But there isn't. We're all kind of bonded by the fact that we go to this church and stuff. But other than that, I don't see a lot of these people a whole lot. So I don't really connect with them. I connect a lot with the youth here. There's a lot of connection because we spend a lot more time together, like talking and doing other kinds of things. Where I don't really get that with the congregation. Even though I feel like they're supporting me, and some of them have watched me since I was little, which is kind of creepy. But he's like, oh yeah, I've seen you since you were yay high. Like, okay.
That's absolutely terrifying.
It's interesting how sometimes close it seems to feel, but it doesn't. It's not. It really just isn't. It's like we're all here, Jesus Christ. But it's like I don't really know you. So I think that there needs to be more. Collaborate. There needs to be more connection between the congregation. It's a difficult problem, and I don't think it occurs just in the church. I think
it's true.
I think it occurs all over the place. I think we need to kind of recognize that problem,
yep.
and maybe try and do some things to fix that or remedy that.
If
they want us to be more involved, talk to us. That'd be great. It's like being in high school almost, being at church. Because, like, all the adults have their own cliques, and all the kids do. And both sides are judging each other, but no one has, like, the guts. I was going to say that. No, it's like, old people are going to see this. No one has the guts to, like, go talk to the other one.
I honestly feel, like, excited and happy and glad to be here. I think growing up in the church, literally, in this church, literally since I was 2 years old, and coming to church every Sunday, going to every single activity, being at Sunday school every single Sunday has made a really big difference in my life, and I think it has allowed me to grow a lot in my faith and my relationship with God.
I feel like I wasted my weekend because, like, on Saturday, I'll ask parents to go to my friend's house, and they'll say, no, we're going to church tomorrow. And then I'm like, I don't want to go to church because it's boring and I don't like to go to church. But then once I get there, I feel like I did a good thing, and I feel like after I leave, I don't regret it. I don't regret coming, and I feel like it was worth not spending my weekend at a friend's house, like doing something stupid, like just playing video games all night.
Why do you think that that's sort of a continual fight that you have with yourself? Like, I don't want to go, but when I go, then you leave, and it's like, oh, that was worth it.
I don't know. It's just like happens. Like, I don't want to go, and I make it seem like it's so bad. But then once I'm here, every single time I realize that it's not that bad, and it's kind of like
Refreshing.
What I'm thinking. It's refreshing.
Almost like a load off your shoulders, like, oh my gosh, I've been needing to do this, and I finally did it, and now I feel great.